This is Lens Island and it just hit 1.0 and we're going to take a look and see if it's any good. This game has lots of different genres mixed into it. It can be a farming game, a building game, a nice cozy game. It can also be the complete opposite. It can be a dungeon crawler, and you have lots of gear in the game to upgrade, and it can also be a tower defense. You can defend your base. This game is 1 to 8 player co-op, but you can play this whole thing solo. Actually, I did the whole thing solo, and I also tried it with a friend and it works flawlessly. It's through Steam, you don't need to put it forward or anything. But what's the game about? What do you actually do in this game? It does have a tutorial, however you do not need to listen to the tutorial. It's just there for new players. You can do your own thing. So anyway, you're going to start by building a house. This will let you build a bed to set your spawn point. There's a lot of building stuff in this game, a lot of cosmetic stuff. I'm actually going to show you a few screenshots of other people's builds. There's a lot on Reddit too, but I just got these from the Steam discussions. No, I didn't. I got them from the Steam artwork page. Anyway, there's a lot of build stuff that you can do, and if you like building in any game, whether that's Sims 4, Minecraft, or literally just any game, Valheim, you're going to love building in this. It's got a lot of building options. You can make stuff look very different and very nice. If you also don't care about building and you're just playing this game for the survival aspect and maybe the upgrade aspect, and there's a lot of reasons to play this game, and you don't want to build, you don't have to. You can just build the most basic rubbish thing and it's completely fine. You can put stuff in these houses. You've got a bed which sets your spawn point. You can have multiple beds around. There's workbenches which will allow you to craft things and also upgrade. There's an advancement system and it's done through the workbench basically, so you can progress the game. Like building a raft, you can't do that straight away when you spawn in, but if you go to the workbench and put some basic ingredients into the workbench, you can upgrade it to then craft a raft. That's just one example of one item. I should also mention that you are on an island. The game's called Lens Island. The whole progression to end game is where you explore. You have to explore a lot. Now this can be done on a raft or a boat through the water, or you don't even need to do this. I don't think, at least before, you could just do it from the caves. You could go into a cave and it's got multiple exit points the more you explore the cave, and then you can go to a different exit point and you'll come up on a different island, for example, and these different islands will have different things on them. You can have different villages on there which will sell you different things. There's also dungeons which will be on these islands where you can progress and get lots of good gear, and there are also boss fights in these dungeons. So as a quick introduction to this game, it can be a farming sim. You can build lots of farms and make everything look pretty. You could just build your own good house. You can do it multiple times on different islands. You can enchant your gear and make it have lots of different effects. You can upgrade your gear through progressing through materials. Now this game does state that it is a procedural generated world. I will let you know that I don't think it is. Well, actually I'm pretty certain it isn't, but there's certain segments, so it's done like Remnant 2. There's certain segments which are handcrafted, but they're just placed randomly. So the same location will not be in the same place on a different world, but the location itself will be the same. It'll have all the same traders and whatnot, but they're going to be placed randomly in the map. But so it's not procedural, true procedural, just to let you know, because it's a little bit misleading there. But every playthrough will still be different because the segments. Okay, so I spent a few minutes telling you what the game is and all the genres that it's mixed into, but is this game fun to play? How is it? This game is so good to play. Everything feels so good, and let me go into detail because it needs to. The sound effects in this game, nothing but perfection, and so calming at times when they need to be, like mining a rock or something. You don't need dramatic, whatever. Sound effects amazing, art style amazing. You can actually now change the camera. You can hold right click and zoom in and out, but you can also hold right click and change the angle. Really amazing. The UI in this game back then wasn't amazing. Now it's nothing but amazing. It's really done greatly. The equipment to this game isn't so in depth where it's like any other ARPG game that you've ever played, like PoE or something. That also does mean there is no grind to this game. There is absolutely no grind that you need to do in this game. Can grind dungeons because they will give you currency at the very end, but you don't need to do it. But the gear is still interesting because you can enchant this gear with different resources and they will put different stats onto your weapon, which is really cool. And there's also different weapon tiers. You're going to start off with stone, rubbish tiers, and then you're going to maybe upgrade to bronze and iron, and it just keeps going. There's also fishing in this game, and there's a lot of stuff in this game which you probably won't expect. Like, for example, I haven't mentioned it, but the caves are not just go A to B, or free roam around the cave. You're going to have to build bridges in these caves, so you're going to need to take some wood down with you. And maybe if there's something tall, you're going to have to build platforms up there, so you can build everywhere in the cave. But there's like gaps in the cave, so you can't build anywhere because you do need supports, and there are physics in this game. But you can build most places where you think you can build. And that just one little detail, which doesn't at all need to be mentioned in any review, just tells you about this game and how good the devs have thought about this game. So what did 1.0 actually add, or did they just stick a 1.0 release on it and call it a day and up the price of the game? I have to mention that every single previous big early access update was meant to be a lot smaller than it actually was. These devs go absolutely insane, and they push very much to the limit of what the game can do and what they can do in a certain amount of time. So with that being said, 1.0 was absolutely no different. With 1.0 there's so many new features. There's now a final act which concludes the story. There's lots of different animals, and you actually have a bow now which you can shoot these animals with. There's also sharks. There's just new biomes in general, especially if you go into the cave. You're going to notice a lot of new things there too. There's now chicken coops for farming chickens. There's new cutscenes to this game. I will say the cutscenes are absolutely trash. I do not think they're good. It's basically just a slideshow that you're watching. It doesn't really do it for me. I wish they wasn't in the game. Luckily, when you make a new save, you can skip the intro, which I recommend to absolutely everyone. Even if you care about lore, I would still skip that. There is a skill tree to this game, and before it was very limited. There wasn't too many skill options, but now it's completely different. So yeah, it's been upgraded in almost every single way, which is absolutely amazing for the progression. And of course co-op, they added co-op, which is up to 8-player co-op, and it's it's one of those things that wasn't needed, but it adds so much to the game. I'm glad it happened. I will also mention that your worlds and characters are different. They save differently. It's kind of like Terraria. You can have your very OP characters start a completely brand new world, for example. I can think of many reasons to do this. It's also like Valheim, if you've played that before. So as this game is now 1.0, I can tell you if it's worth picking up and if it's any good for your money. What I will say is the game isn't the cheapest game ever. It doesn't deserve to be the cheapest game ever. This game has been in development for years, and like I said, every single previous update they've done was meant to be so much smaller than they actually made it. Why you should care about that is because at the very end of this game, so it's 1.0 now, there's so much here, and there's so much more in 1.0 than there was ever going to be or ever planned to be, just because of the previous updates being so huge. So anyway, is this game good? Is this game worth your money? Well, this game is amazing. It's great. It's one of the better indie games that you're probably going to play in this genre, if not the best. Is it worth your money? Again, yes. You can get so many countless hours out of this video game. Even in early access, you could play it for so long, and right now there's so much more content here that you're going to be able to get a good amount of hours out of it, and obviously you can replay it too. And if you have friends, you can also replay it with them too. So yes, I can't really name negatives to this game, and I've been trying to think of just something that wasn't good about this game, and I just can't seem to come to a conclusion of what that would be. I would say that the dungeons can be quite difficult, but then there's a difficulty option at the very beginning of the game. You can just choose an easier difficulty, so it's not really a problem. So anyway, enough blabbering. Yeah, this game is great. Go and pick it up, and if you can't afford it right now, wishlist it, maybe wait for a sale, and hopefully you can try it one day, because in your lifetime this game is worth an experience. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I will hope to see you in the next one. Thank you again, and goodbye.